What's up, YouTube and Facebook, and welcome back to Not Quite Mint. I'm Tom.
And I'm Rich. We're definitely not feeling quite mint today.
Yeah, definitely not. And welcome back, guys. It is our key show. So we are talking about the keys that are coming out on the 11th of November that we think you should go to get from your local comic book shop online, because we can't go out and get any. So shall we get into this, Rich?
Let's get into it. I'll see. I do this bit.
I want to fiddle about with my lights.
Okay, I'll edit that out, but I won't really. But yeah, so welcome back.
I like that.
Welcome back, and yeah, this is our key comics of the week for the 11th of November. Do make sure if you're new to the channel so that you don't miss our weekly key videos, unboxings, live streams, and all the rest of it. Do make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the little bell icon, and then you'll always get notifications for all of our new content. And also, guys, most importantly, show your support and a bit of love. Leave us the thumbs up down below as well. That's the best way you can show support to this channel. So then, key comics, 11th of November. Shall we do the notables?
2020.
2020.
Year of whatever. Was it? We might as well call it the year of the rat. It's horrible. Yeah, so the notables that I have thought would be best to mention tomorrow that me and Rich think that might be worth picking up is the fact that you get issue 3 of both Seven Secrets, and We Only Find Them When They're Dead, which are two series that I need to stop drinking. Two series that both me and Rich are
back again.
Yeah, both me and Rich are thoroughly enjoying. They are worth picking up in our opinion. And also this week you get the next few chapters of X of Swords. So you get the chapter 14, 15, and 16 across the 3X titles that come out this week. And also you get a first new mini-series for Taskmaster, which is quite nice. And I like the homage cover that they've used for New Mutants 97, I think it is, for the cover.
Oh, yeah, with the little. Is it a bit cable-y? Is that right?
Yes, yeah. I think no, it's not 97. 97 is the first appearance of Deadpool. I'm on about the earlier issues, which might be 80 something, which is the cable one. Sorry, you are right. My bad.
98's Deadpool, isn't it?
Yes, 98. New 98 is Deadpool, and then the earlier one, which is 80 something, is the one that's got this cover, which is Cable's first appearance in the Marvel universe.
It's the Cable one. Yeah, I need to find that out now. I need to discover what number that is. But
do it.
Yeah, a couple of good notables there. Well, as I say, I haven't read We Only Find Them When They're Dead issue 2 yet, which is a bit annoying. So I don't really know what's going on in that, but everything that I've heard about that series, and obviously I love the first issue. So everything up there, real solid notables, definitely.
Yeah, I think they're all worth picking up, especially We Only Find Them When They're Dead. It's been great. It's almost like a Tron type thing. Anyway, our top 5 picks that we think that you might want to go out and pick up tomorrow is the first one, starting off at 5, is Dark Knight's Death Metal Infinity Hour. This is few multiple stories about the main man Lobo and where he's been during this whole death metal, dark metal kind of crossover, and what he's been up to and why he's working with Lex Luthor. I think we're going to find out. It's written by Becky Coolan and the artwork is by Dave Eaglesham. So yeah, it could be quite an interesting one to pick up.
Yeah, again, it's one of those weird ones. I've like, with death metal, I've kind of because of all the tie-ins and everything else, it's quite the timeline in my brain has gone a little bit skewed, if that makes sense. Because Lobo's obviously going around doing errands with Lex Luthor, and it's kind of like we don't yet really understand all of that. And to be fair, I don't think there's been any mention of what Lex Luthor's actually doing in the background yet,
No,
despite
not yet.
going on in the multiverse. So yeah, this one's going to be an interesting one, and maybe it's going to give us an insight to, again, are our heroes going to actually get a break? Because I was definitely a bit disappointed by issue 4, because I thought all the really good tie-ins just were, just cut off. Which I found really disappointing, really, because I thought we were going to be building up to a really big thing, which we probably are, but
yeah,
hopefully this will fill in the gaps.
It was annoying, wasn't it? That final issue that they did, issue 4, where it was like they did all this work all across all this, actually some really good writing, and then right up to the point,
well written, yeah.
At the end, it was like, oh, he's the best of the best now. What are you going to do about it? Like, I don't know. I just hated. Yeah. One of my biggest bugbears with Superman. I mean, I like Superman, but one of my biggest bugbears with Superman is he's so OP and he has everything, kind of all the powers, so he can't really be beaten. And I now hate the fact that the Batman Who Laughs has all the power, and I can't see how they're gonna write how he's gonna get beaten, apart from maybe if Perpetua gets involved, I guess, and makes a deal with our heroes. I don't know. I think where they go.
I think that as well. I think that it's kind of like they're going to come to they're going to be as unlikely as it may well seem after, obviously the original Metal and things like that, and other things that have happened in the DC universe that I've got any knowledge of. It would almost be inconceivable that you sort of like all your Justice League members and stuff like that would sort of ally themselves with Perpetua, but we are forgetting that at the moment, despite the Darkest Knight's rise to, this obviously we saw the Rise of the New God tie-in issue, which I know you weren't that fond of, were you?
No, not really.
So, we are having the Darkest Knight as a new god, and then we are kind of forgetting that the Perpetua is still there in the background, and it's kind of like she obviously made that like evil turn to sort of like ally with the Dark Multiverse and do all of that kind of thing, and obviously make the Batman Who Laughs and the Darkest Knight sort of come into being. But she's surely, as soon as she finds out that the Darkest Knight's plotting against her, she's not going to be that best pleased. You know what I mean? No. So it's kind of the only way I can see that happening, and maybe that's what Lex Luthor's going to do. Because was there a storyline last year with Lex Luthor where he was like a super kind of Lex Luthor or something like that? And where there was Perpetua involved.
I don't know, because I haven't necessarily read it, but I have a feeling that it's kind of Lex Luthor with the powers of with Dr. Manhattan and Brainiac, but I'm not entirely sure. It's either both or one of the other, because in Hell Arisen, where you get the first appearance of Punchline, he's all like godlike, isn't he? At that point, it's like, well, I don't know how he got to that point, but I know Hell Arisen is to do with Perpetua, isn't it?
I vaguely remember, as I say, not being a massive like Justice League reader and stuff. I vaguely remember there being some, like when I watched some videos and things like that, that there was some kind of conversation about that happening, if that made sense. So yeah.
2 seconds, mate. You might need to cut this out. I have lost the dog. Is Raggles up there with you, Sharp? Yeah. Okay. How did he get up there? Did he make himself up there? Or did you get in? Okay. Sorry, I just realised he wasn't in the room.
Crisis.
Slight edit.
Dog snatch.
Dog snatch. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So, yeah.
Should we move on to the next one?
Yes. So, yeah, fourth on our list that we think you should pick up tomorrow is Power Rangers issue 1. And this is the second series that's currently going on in the Boom Studios run of Power Rangers. So you've got Mighty Morphin that came out last week, and now you've got Power Rangers starting this week. And this is a new cosmic event, and it is a first issue for this upcoming Power Rangers. And what they're saying, or what they're trying to get at in what some of the solicitations that I've read, is that essentially this is going to pitch the Omega Rangers against the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because of the fact that something's going on behind the scenes with the Green Ranger and there's a new cosmic event, but Zordon doesn't want them to get involved. It's kind of that way around it. And it's written by Ryan Parrott, so it should be good. And if you want to get your hands on this cover, head over to notquitemint.com because I'm doing it as part of the set with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So well worth getting so you can get both first issues. Anyway, that's a cheeky plug for the website.
No worries, but yeah, I read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 55 because I wanted to see what all the fuss was about the Green Ranger and all the rest of it. And I as I say, whilst I've got these lovely omnibus hardcovers here, I haven't actually read any of them, so I feel like I'm going in way too deep. So for me, it's kind of like I know how much these two Mighty Morphin and the Power Rangers have been hyped by all the fans. I know Mighty Morphin, which was obviously last week, was everybody loved that. Apparently, like everybody was really raving about that. So yeah, I'm all ears really. I think that's the best way of putting it out there, and definitely worthwhile picking up. And I know you really enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I think Mighty Morphin is kind of a continuation of what's been going on in Mighty Morphin anyway. So that's quite a good book to pick up if you've been reading Mighty Morphin. But as far as I'm aware, this Power Ranger one is a good jumping on point if you've not read it before. Because you kind of have, if you know what Power Rangers are, you're going to be sound. If you don't know what Power Rangers are, then you probably don't want to pick it up. But if you know what they are, and you've got a little bit of an understanding of what Power Rangers are, this is a really good jumping on point for a new story arc, new kind of direction of where they're taking the characters, because it's only 3 characters to remember. You haven't got to remember like the yellow, green, red, black, blue. This is literally just yellow, red, and black. And they've got some like different kind of backstories, but you don't need to know anything else, I don't think, on this one. I think it's a very good jumping on point. Awesome sauce. So moving on, I'm going to leave this one up to my amazing co-star because he's going to have a bit more passionate about this one than I am, because I do like Star Wars, but Rich really likes Star Wars. So yes, we're talking Darth Vader issue 7.
7, yeah. So it's an interesting one actually. I mean, I read issue 6, and the main reason we're putting this on the key list is that at the moment there's quite a resurgence in people tracking down Star Wars keys, but we don't get them very often as Star Wars fans. They're kind of like, obviously there's all the original key comics when the 1977 film came out, when Star Wars first came out, and there's all the comics that accompanied the films, and you get the Luke Skywalkers and stuff like that. But you have to really delve into some of like the Dark Horse comics to pick out some of the more familiar other characters who might have appeared in like Clone Wars and stuff like that. Whereas with this one, it's really interesting because it's the first time since we've kind of like had, I don't know, there are other minor kind of like keys and stuff like that, but we've got a new character who's basically, I believe, a Sith assassin who's called Ochi of Bestoon. Now, I don't know a great deal about the character. It is a new first appearance. He did appear in one panel in issue 6, which just came out. And yeah, he's obviously going to, this is a first full appearance. So it was very Hulk 180's appearance in issue 6. It was like one panel and Ochi of Bestoon, and that was it. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he comes into this, because this whole Darth Vader sort of arc and series at the moment is all about kind of like the Emperor showing his dominance and control over Darth Vader. You know, saying that you wouldn't even be alive if I didn't rescue you from, like, you know, being burnt to death on Mustafar and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool. I do like it. It's quite dark, but yeah, key comic, first appearance, definitely worthwhile picking up, in my opinion.
Yeah, worth picking up, guys. You heard it here. Rich says it's worth picking up, and because it's a key and people are sorting after Star Wars keys, it would be worth picking up.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to our second pick, both me and Rich are really enjoying this series. I actually think it's one of my favourite comic book series going on at the moment that's not an independent. Independents are amazing, I think, at the moment. But this is such a fun book to read, and I'm really excited to read the next issue. I think this is issue 5 or 6. Excuse me. Alexa, stop. Yeah, edit that one out, or don't edit that out. So we're talking Strange Academy issue 6, I think. But this is the first kind of possible first encounter for the kids of the Strange Academy with the Hollows, who we have actually seen previously as a cameo, and they were on the cover or on a variant cover of issue 4, I believe. It's written by Scott Young, who can do no wrong in my eyes, and it is drawn by the amazing Alberto Ramos. I've actually just recommended this book to my work colleague, and as soon as I recommended it to him, he read the first 4 issues in a day, like literally within an hour. He just plowed through it. So I like this book, I have to be honest.
Yeah, it's really well drawn, well written. It's really fun. It's, you know, as I say, everybody's obviously raving about, you know, this is going to be on Disney Plus and all that kind of stuff. But it genuinely, like, it's one of those ones where do give it a go if you want like a fun. I don't want to say middle of the road comic book, but it's like something that's a bit different. I'll definitely pick it up. As you say, we haven't, up until probably the end of issue 4, the previous issue to this, we didn't have a real sense of the sort of like the threat that was going to come into obviously to our like Strange Academy kind of characters, whereas we started getting them. Like you've got that idea that there are like threats out there that are threatening obviously Strange Academy and stuff. And as I say, this one, it's obviously because the Strange Academy itself is set in New Orleans, so you've got the bayou and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like the Hollows, they appear to be like these sort of like tree-like characters who are like bad guys. So they're it's going to be interesting, this one, because I think we're going to see our first big bad, if that makes sense, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. It's like their first kind of encounter with something bad, isn't it? Yeah, I've read some of the solicitations of the next coming issues, and it sounds like it's going to get rough for this this lovely book we've read so far. Anyway, so moving on to our final book that we do think you should go and pick out tomorrow, and it's James Tynion at it again with a one shot of Punchline, which I'm quite excited about. What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, I don't know what to make about this one, because like this is apparently this is like a standalone one shot for Punchline, and kind of like when we saw the Joker War, I haven't obviously read. Well, I read it. Issue 100, and I don't know what's going to happen with Punchline, because I don't think we've really seen what's in the main continuity, what's happening, what's going to happen to her character onwards now. Whereas this is obviously this covers all of her origin story, doesn't it? This one shot, so it's going to fill in the gaps almost, like, because there's this whole thing where she's playing the victim card, isn't she? Like as herself, as not a Punchline, as her own like kind of character. So we're gonna, sort of see that. Obviously, that who Punchline is, what her makeup is, a bit of her origin explained a bit more, and so it's going to be an interesting one. It's a must read, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've been reading the Joker Wars, I think this is a must read next one on, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's and again, it'll probably give us an idea. Will Punchline get her own range of comics? We don't really know, but it's certainly an interesting character, and it's going to be. It's one that I've got on my pull list to pick up, but purely because of its connection to Joker War and Batman. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I totally agree. I think it's going to be a decent one to pick up if you've been reading the Joker War and you want to know what's going on with Punchline. I have a feeling that it's kind of so from what I've read or like some of the spoilers and stuff that I've kind of seen about, it kind of sounds like what they're going to do is kind of got a bit of a backstory and an outline on Punchline while she's in Arkham. So it's kind of like a conversation she's having with someone about who she is and why she does what she does. And she's trying to, like you said, play the victim. So we might get a completely different spin on her actual origin. And it probably show like, it could show that, you know, this is how I see that I did it. And then it shows you actually, this is what she actually did. Like she's actually a murderer. But that, I mean, that could be quite a cool concept. It might not be like that. I might be, you know, blowing smoke, but I don't know. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be one of those ones that if Punchline turns into a big, you know, an even bigger character than she is at the moment, it's like it's first solo issue. Yeah. You know, self-titled issue. So it's always, you know, keeping the long box for a rainy day at some point.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
Absolutely. One we can flip at some point, maybe. Yeah. Unless you're like me and you just hoard everything.
Yeah. £1 comics. Yeah. There's loads of them.
Got loads of those, mate. Loads of £1 comics that I bought for £3. Anyway, guys, that is it. Thank you ever so much for joining us for our Keys show. We will be back on Thursday with another video and Saturday. And we'll also be back next week with the next set of keys for us to give you for the Wednesday, which is the 28th of November.
Is it the 28th?
No, it's the 18th. I need a calendar. Yeah, I need a calendar right here.
Everybody needs to see what a mare you've had in this one. You've had interruptions. Oh my god, it's going to be I'm not going to edit anything out.
No, don't edit anything out. Leave it as it is. It's because we are not quite mint at the end of the day.
Oh dear. But yeah, so like Tom says, loads of videos coming out. Make sure that you obviously are hitting that subscribe button down below, hitting the little bell icon so that you keep informed, and smash obviously that thumbs up. But yeah, definitely pop back next week to see obviously more keys and unboxings and bits and bobs that we've got coming up. But until next time, I'll just say take care, and see you next time.
I'm going to say, make sure you follow us on all the Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, because it's worth doing. So you're quite active on those things, and you get to find out a little bit more about notquitemintcomics.com. So on that note, I'm going to say, stay safe, stay sexy. See you.